something.
Yeah.
Because Mike and I live together, so. For me, I wake up pretty early. So I'm up for a good 4 or 5 hours before this guy fucking crawls out of bed. And from there, it's just us sitting on the couch, talking to each other on AIM from across the room, drinking coffee for about 4 hours, trying to wake up.
And then maybe, you know, we'll walk into the studio. And
Nah, he's just saying that because there's a camera here. We don't do anything like that. AJ does all the tunes.
we just sit around. And
I come over
drink
here
coffee.
to their studio while they sit on the couch.
We write down ideas on AIM
Send
and
them to
send them to
AJ.
AJ in this room from over in the other room. And he makes songs and we put our names on it.
When the internet's out, I just get a stack of index cards with like all the ideas on them.
Send
Put like
carrier
multicolored post-it notes and just make a sequencer on the wall with different colors. Bass, re-stab.
pigeons. Draw out little waveforms.
That's how it goes down.
Lifted sort of started out just sort of as a label Chris was doing. He quit working at Barcode and Hardware and was looking to start something new, I guess. And the way he described like how he was starting up the label and the vibes going into it just seemed like a good thing. And we liked all the people who we were working with. So you know,
Chris is always, like, you know, I mean, when we first were trying to get our tunes to labels, Chris was really supportive of us, and he, you know, he did a lot for us when we were first starting out. So, you know, I mean, it wasn't so much like we were leaving Hardware or anything. It was just, you know, a new label starting up, and we wanted to be part of something a little more exclusive. And, you know, E1, Sport, and at the time it was Unknown Air, now it's Apex. But I mean, those are 3 people that that, you know, most of my DJ sets I know are pretty much filled with just their tunes and ours. And so, I mean, it really feels like we're a part of something really solid.
the message behind Air of Diversion would be if you take into account current political trends in America, it feels like the media really isn't doing its job and things are more influenced by larger political organizations and large multimedia corporations seem to have their agenda and avoid reporting real news.
Just keeping people kind of numb to what surrounds them.
Exactly.
And that's, you know, the tagline we came up with was, "We are living in an era of diversion," which I think kind of sums up what we mean with it.
I think just with the rise of corporations and media companies, they're at a level that they can skew stuff the way they want to.
Just to make the bucks.
Yeah, whatever's in their best interest is what they kind of go for, and
Getting into the White House press room or whatnot.
I've been saying recently, if in 5 years from now we could not even be making drum and bass, that would be really cool. I mean, not anything against drum and bass, and then I'm sure we'll still do it, but if we can evolve our sound to the point where people see our name and they click on the link and they hear the song and they have no idea what to expect, I think that's better than any other direction that we could go in. I mean, it could be, you know, IDM, drum and bass, some sort of, you know, live instruments, anything of the sort. I mean, that's just where I see it going personally.
yeah,
I'm with that.
yeah. I'd love to see it go more in almost like a band direction.
Yeah. Definitely
Whereas-
wanted to start doing live performance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Even like nothing like Nine Inch Nails or even Tool or anything like that. But you know, you could go back and listen and be like, oh, you know, they've got Nine Inch Nails has. You could tell there's some drum and bass type stuff that he's done, but he's not aiming to do drum and bass, you know.
Yeah.
So just kind of like we make what we want to, no matter what the tempo, no matter what drums or type of bass line we want to use.
I don't think our studio dynamic's going to change at all because we rarely work in the same room as it is now. But I don't know if I have any computer problems or anything. I can just write my ideas down, a little piece of paper, and send it to Mike.
And then I get it in the mail and then start writing down my ideas and then mail it over to AJ.
Yeah.
Then he emails it back to me.
Yeah, I think as far as technically, nothing's going to change because we'll work the same way. But maybe, maybe like with Nick or Mike being in a new place, you know, we might have they might be inspired by something else, or, you know, or maybe me being away from them, I might be like, awesome. Can get some shit done now. Nah, but yeah, we've always worked separately, different studios. So, Evil Intent started with us living separately.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
And we were like that for at least 2 years. Well, longer than that before Mike moved here.
We did way more tunes
yeah,
then,
no,
too.
I mean,
Yeah.
wow.
And so,
But rest assured, no, we're not breaking up. We're moving forward. And if anything, we'll have more connections and, you know, we'll have more peace of mind to just do what we need to do to make it happen. I mean, we don't put any pressure on ourselves anymore, and we just write whatever we want to write. And if we're not feeling creative for a certain amount of time, then we won't write a tune for that certain amount of time. And that's how it is here, and it'll be the same out there. It's just whatever happens creatively, we just go with it. And being in separate places, like we said earlier, it makes no difference as far as the actual production that's going to be coming out of the studio.
I mean, yeah, we do a lot of production in Reason, and I mean, that software, I mean, not to sound like an advertisement or anything, but it's very good for collaborating because everything is self-contained. You don't have to sit there and just go clicking through a plugin list and being like, yeah, do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this? And then also, I mean, if you work cross-platform, I mean, me and Nick tend to use Macs a fair bit, and AJ's a PC guy, and Reason is one of the few software packages where everything will just work, you know, from when you send the tune to the next person, provided you have all the correct files. And yeah, so I mean, even like within other software packages, we found ways to collaborate. Like I think like AJ sent me a MIDI file that he did in Cubase and audio files, and then I managed to load it up into Logic, and using another sampler application, you know, just loaded everything automatically. So I mean, there's still just plenty of ways to keep working, and yeah, I mean, I think like we've kind of evolved, you know, computer-wise and technology-wise to where you can do it pretty efficiently.
The album's the next thing we have ready to drop. After that, we're going to follow it up with an EP from E1. It's going to be 4 songs. There's not going to be any remixes. He's going to do a remix of one of our first releases, but it's going to be all E1's material, and it's all really good. After that, we've got a couple singles, you know, something we did with Arsenic from Indiana, and you know, some newer guys that we picked up, like Spectrum, just, you know, trying to bring up some newer producers and hopefully get some other genres incorporated with the upcoming releases, I think.